Hey friends, this is Eric the Mind Control Guy. You know, the last few days I've been watching some of these videos on YouTube, and I have come to the conclusion this so-called cancel culture, woke culture, got to be the biggest bunch of crybabies this country, or any country for that matter, has ever produced. And it's time, I think, they start being renamed the pacifier culture. Nothing but a bunch of crybabies. Going and finding 70, 80, 90-year-old cartoons, pick a scene out and start crying about it. I have never seen a bigger bunch of crybabies in my life. Heard the other day, they're going after Snow White. Old Disney movie, classic. Snow White. Because a girl was basically in a coma, given a poison apple by her bitch-ass stepmother. So she's in a coma. And along comes this good-looking dude and plants it on her mouth and wakes her up. And the pacifier culture, that's what I'm going to start calling them now. Cancel culture, woke culture, pacifier culture. And they say, well, he didn't ask her permission. You dumbasses, she's in a coma. You know, does that mean all the first responders out here of any variety, any flavor, when they come across somebody that's unconscious, but they're still breathing, or they got to use the paddle, something like that, they're unconscious, you dumb shit. You know, they're knocked out. You got to revive them. You got to do something. You can't communicate with somebody if they're knocked out. And it's a cartoon. My God. You know, and then yesterday, I think it was, I was flipping through the channel, and they want to go after the old classic musical from the 70s, Grease, with John Travolta, who's still a working actor, Olivia Newton-John. And you're going, what? I mean, anything and everything. They seem to want to go after cartoons, toys. I mean, what the hell do these diaper-wearing, crybaby, pacifier, pansy asses want? You know, there's a lot of islands out there in the South Pacific. You know, maybe you little pacifier sucking crybabies, if you can't stand it here, why don't you just go somewhere on one of those uninhabited islands and establish your own society? Because the grown-ups are sick and damn tired of you. And there's even a lot of people your ages who are sick and damn tired of you, making the rest of them look bad because you're a bunch of pacifier sucking crybabies. You know, how did all these young people get to be this way? Who was teaching them to be a bunch of little bitch-ass pacifier sucking crybabies? I'll tell you who. The very Marxist teachers and Marxist professors that this guy, Senator Joseph McCarthy from Wisconsin, tried to warn our grandmas and grandpas about decades ago. He said one communist on the faculty is one communist too many. And he was dead on right. One communist in the State Department is one communist too many. He's dead on right. Because the communists and the Marxists have an agenda. Slither into any part, any fabric of society they can get into, and just start manipulating. Playing people off on each other. Manipulating, twisting. Here and there, here and there. Well, after about 50, 60 years, we see what's happened really bad in the last 30 years. I mean, in 20 years in particular, but my God. I mean, it is really hard for a dude my age, 55 years old, to comprehend these little pacifier sucking crybabies want to take away everything people like me grew up with and tell us it's no good. You know what? To hell with you clowns. Bunch of pacifier sucking crybabies. You're offended by anything. Is that how this cancel culture works? Do they got somebody they call up and say, hey, what are we supposed to be offended by today? God, bunch of frickin' crybabies. Cry and whine about anything under the sun. Every time I can't think they cannot surpass themselves with some more stupid bullshit, they surprise. Going after toys. Mr. Potato Head, really? Going after cartoons, Cat in the Hat, Speedy Gonzales. I mean, and I think, when a lot of us are dead and gone, this who's going to be running the country? A bunch of pacifier sucking crybabies? I'll tell you what, this country's going to fall. It's going to fall. It could be from any number of things. People my age talked about, could be a Red Dawn, could be an EMP attack, Yellowstone could blow. But basically what we have is a country fighting itself on smaller scales, unlike the war between the states over 150 years ago. Now it's the cancel culture crybabies, the Antifa. Black Lives Matter. But I'll tell you what, Black Lives don't matter to black thugs. And that's who the Black Lives Matter bunch won't go after. All the gangs who were responsible for killing black people. Everybody from a little toddler, a little infant, a baby in their car seat, to an elderly person in a wheelchair. Black lives don't matter to black thugs. And that is who the Marxist BLM group will not go after. They don't want to go after the people who are responsible for the death of most black folks. 99% of black folks are killed by other blacks. And Black Lives Matter don't care about that. They only care if their people are harmed by somebody who's got a skin color like mine. And their buddy's Antifa. Burning down city after city. I imagine Portland, Seattle's probably a wasteland by now. And who are the sons of bitches in charge telling the police, hands off, let them do what they want? The very people that this guy warned us about. Now have got themselves in a political office, leftist leaning, go figure. Glad to put in my 50 cents for the day. Cancel culture needs to be renamed the pacifier culture, because that's all they are. A bunch of pacifier, temper tantrum crybabies. Pacifier sucking, temper tantrum crybabies. That's what they are. And for the other millennial people out there who are the complete opposite of the pacifier culture, it's time that y'all take a stand and start knocking those little candy asses on their ass saying, hey, you little bitches are making the rest of us look bad. How many kids were born at the turn of the millennium or after the millennium and are already in the military? Kid born in 2000. Now he's probably 21 years old. How many of those guys are already Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, Green Berets, Air Force PJs, Marine Corps Recon? Got their own business going. There's some tough guys. There's some badasses. Ladies who are full-fledged nurses. First responders who were born in 2000. It's time y'all start taking your own generation on and telling them they're making the rest of y'all look bad. Pacifier culture. Good God. I got to go to work.